Hey guys, Gav, Old Jab Garage, back again. Just a quick little video today, just to sort of give you a rundown of what's happened in the last couple of weeks. As I pull my socks up, pull myself up by my bootstraps, as AOC says. Is that what she says? Pull yourself up by your socks or some shit? Anyway, whatever. Alright guys, quick little update, what we've been up to the last couple of weeks, bit of news. Like usual, haven't really got too much done because life has got in the way again. Where do I start? Well, about 2 weeks ago, I had some issues with my heart. My heart rate, basically, just for no particular reason whatsoever. Lying in bed having a cup of tea, heart rate went absolutely crazy. Got to about 156 beats per minute. It was a little bit scary. It was kind of hard to breathe, get the oxygen in. I was getting dizzy. I was getting pain in my back, whatnot. Me being the old roughy toughy infantry bloke, just sort of said, "Oh yeah, whatever, blah blah blah." It's a little concerning. We'll worry about it tomorrow. Went to bed. Got up the next day. Wasn't feeling so crash hot. Feeling dizzy again. Puffing. Just felt absolutely like garbage, and the pain has sort of started to move around under my chest here. So my wife the night that it happened, put the heart monitor on, checked out my pulse. My pulse is sky high, but my blood pressure was normal. I think, I don't know, it was a kind of weird sort of thing. And she said if he wakes up in the morning, he feels crap again, he's got pain in the chest and whatnot, ring the ambulance to get them to come check you out. So rang the ambos, they turned up, chucked an ECG on me, couldn't really find anything, but they could see that I wasn't well, and with everything that had happened up before, they said we're taking you off to hospital. So off I went to hospital, had blood tests done to check to see if I had a heart attack, because apparently if you have a heart attack, there's an enzyme that gets released and it sits in your blood system for about 12-13 hours. So they did the test, and another couple of ECGs got checked out. Had X-ray of my chest. Did a whole gamut of different bits and bobs and whatnot. Asked me all these different questions, and in short, they couldn't find anything wrong with me. So they said, "We're happy to send you home if you want to go home," which I was, because I hate being in hospital. I've spent way too much time in hospital the last couple of years, be it myself or with the kids. The only time I actually enjoyed being in hospital is when the kids were born, except for my daughter, because she was a painful memory to be born. Typical of her personality. She's very stubborn. She didn't want to come out when she wanted to come out, so they had to take her out, and that was 2 days of my wife being in extreme pain, trying everything to do a natural birth, and ended up having a Caesar. So yeah, my daughter's birth was a painful memory. But anyway, the other two, the boys, that was a nice memory. They were planned. They came out when I was supposed to come out. The hospital we go to, which is the Gold Coast University Hospital, is fairly new. They got a nice sort of food eatery place downstairs with different shops, like sushi shops and carvery and Subway and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to go down there and have a feed, come back upstairs and get some cuddles with the babies. Which leads me on to the next thing I'll get onto in a second. So anyway, cut a long story short, came home, and everything was good for about a day or two, and then on the Monday I felt crap again. Had the day off work, same thing, vertigo, heart rate's going crazy, pressures were up, then pressures were down. So I went in and got checked out by the doc. He put an ECG on me. Couldn't find anything wrong with me. Suggested we go and wear a harness. So I had an ECG harness, had to wear that for a day. Drove me absolutely mental. It's just like a little box that records everything that sits here. And it's supposed to shave your hair and your chest and put all the pads on, so they didn't quite shave it properly, and the pads didn't quite stick properly. So when I got sweaty and whatnot, it pulled this pad off and then pulled that pad off, and I had to stick them all back on. So when I turned up at the end of the day, I had about 50 Band-Aids holding all the pads on, because that's all I had in the work truck, was Band-Aids, trying to stick it back on. So I'm still waiting to hear back from that. I'm guessing that showed nothing. Otherwise they would have rang me by now and said you need to come in for emergency operation to get anything done. The other thing I got to do is a stress test with an ECG. That hasn't been booked, so I don't know. No one knows what's going on. I feel better now, like a week later. I do feel better. I still feel puffed. I still feel buggered. But like during the week, I was out mowing my lawns and whippersnipping. My heart rate was 160 something, 165 or something like that beats per minute when I was working, and then it went down to about 68, 70 beats per minute when I was resting. Within about 2 to 3 minutes, I'll just stop doing so. According to doctors, they think that's fine. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what the story was. Besides the fact we've had a massive amount of stress, issues, problems. My mum passing away, obviously that was an issue. So that's now, that'll be 3 months tomorrow. My mum passed away. She had colon cancer. So you probably know about that. So we've had that. We've had issues with Mercedes, with the car. Car goes in next week for its first proper Mercedes service. Even though I did have I got the oil when I first got it. I got the oil and a filter change because I was told when we bought it they'd done all that stuff, so it would need to be done for a year. It's been just over a year now. It's been a headache trying to get it in. I had to take a day off work to do it because they don't do weekend servicing or night servicing, which is a pain in the ass for a premium motor vehicle company where you're paying a lot of money for a car. We paid a lot of money, but we didn't pay obviously the full price for it because it's secondhand. But for what it was worth brand new, which was over 120 grand, and we paid basically half that 5 years later. It's still, you still expect premium service, and you would be expecting night service and a weekend service. But anyway, cut a long story short, there's all this shit that's been going on, all this stress that's been going on. My son had to get his teeth fixed up, so that was a couple $1,000 doing that. We had to go to Sydney, obviously for the funeral, the whole gamut of stuff. And so the doctors just think that what happened is my heart just basically said, that's it, we had too much shit going on in too quick a time. You're working too hard. You're stressing about everything. I'm going to make you stop. And that's pretty much what it did. It just made me stop. And I have really had to sit there and consciously stop myself from stressing about things and getting upset about things and getting anxiety and getting frustrated. And I really have had to literally just sit there and just say, woosah, woosah, calm down. Just, if it happens, it happens. Whatever, okay? Just, it's the way it is. Work's stressing me out. Life's stressing me out. Shit's just going wrong. I'm frustrated with the Jeeps and Dodge because I can't buy things, get things done. I need to buy new tools and bits and bobs. The paint issue, that's just, I went from there down to here. You know what I mean? Anyway, so that's that. So that's what happened a couple of weeks ago. So that's kind of why everything just came to a screeching halt and stopped. Okay, so I haven't really done anything since then. But what I did do is I spoke to a friend of mine. You may know him, Jad Dennis. He's pretty well known here in Australia, especially in Queensland, for military vehicles. He has lots of great military vehicles. You've seen some of his vehicles in my video. He owns the Duck and a GPA, and he had the sand-coloured Dodge, the WC early model Dodge that was at the MJCQ swap meet a couple of weeks ago. So he owns that. He owns a whole bunch of different stuff. He owns some pretty cool stuff. But I spoke to him about my paint issues, and he put me onto a good supplier. It's kind of, from my place, it's way up there. But from work, it's not too far away. It's about 20 minutes drive west of where I work. And we get our trucks serviced at the a place just literally in the next road of where this company is, where I can get my paint. So I tried to organise to do that, and that apparently was an issue, whatever. And one of the guys that I work with, he drives the big trucks, Kenworths and DAFs and whatnot. He said, "Hey mate, can you give us a hand? I've got to get out and go pick up my truck." I said, "Yeah man, where is it?" He says, "Oh, it's so where we send it out." I said, "Oh mate, that's around the corner where I got to go get my paint. No worries, let's go. Jump in my car. I'll take you out there." he's like, what do you mean? I said, look, get in my car. I'm going home. I'll take you there. I've got to get me paint. So I drove him out to Merc, and he's pretty impressed with the Merc. So it worked out pretty good. So I went to a place called ProTech Paints. ProTech is out at Rockley. They do the military paint, and I'll show you that in a second. They do military paint. They do all the colours for the Australian military vehicles. So the brown, the black, and the green in what's called camouflage. It's supposed to be a lustreless, flat enamel paint. It's a beautiful paint. Don't get me wrong. I haven't scratch tested it because I've sprayed a part, but I want to just let it. It's been probably settling now for about a week, curing, and then I'm going to give it a scratch test on the inside, so it won't be much of an issue. But yeah, that other paint we got from Dulux, their enamel alkyd fucking shit. Sorry, but it's shit. They charged me $380 for that paint, and I'm so angry. They refused to refund me the money for that paint because I've had it for sitting around for too long. Whereas if I had bought it earlier this year, they probably would have turned around and said, oh yeah, no problem, we'll fix it. They don't give a shit. They don't care. So it's junk. Whereas this paint that I've got is professional quality automotive paint made for the Australian Army and painted on the military vehicles, and it cost me $78, something like that. I'll have to go and get I'll get the receipt. 2 seconds. I'll tell you exactly how much. So the paint cost me 4 litres. Sorry, it's $86 for 4 litres of this enamel paint, and the spray cans, which is this stuff. All right, get that, okay? It's brilliant. And if you look at it, it's 400 grams. This cost me, I got 3 of them, $57 in total, $19 unit price, so about $20 a can. That is 300 grams for the primer from Bunnings, and that's costing me somewhere around $22 or something now for a can. Because Bunnings just like to rip Australians off, because that's what they do. They put everybody else out of business, and they charge everybody a fortune. So I got to use that for my primer, which whatever. It works with this, which is great. But as I can say, yeah, it was pretty cheap. So I got 3 bottles of this. I got 1 can of 4 litre camouflage green, $86, and I got the 4 litres of reducer. That was $47. And I got 3 mixing cups, 650 mils, and that was 65 cents each. It cost me $1.95. So all in all, the total was $212.36. Freaking cheaper, man, than what I got from Dulux. And Dulux, you suck. So your product sucks, and you just rip people off, and you just suck. So Dulux, get stuffed. And ProTech, I love you guys. Thank you very much. This is the product. Let me put that over there. Now, what I did is I painted up the brake backing plates for the Dodge WC51. So as you can see, it's glossy. Okay, and I've got paint runs, but you know, who cares? No one's really going to see it. Whatever. It was just, this was the first thing that I've painted with it, and you know, it's beautiful. It's a really, really nice finish. It's come up as a satin finish. Now, I believe it's come up as a satin finish for a couple of reasons. One being basically that I put it on too thick and too heavy. You're supposed to obviously spray it with the tin. You spray it over, give it a light coat, come back, give it another light coat, come back, give it another light coat, and it's not supposed to come out so glossy. However, it will start to change over time in UV light. It will lose that gloss, and it'll go back. It will go to the lustreless, and then over time it will actually go to a chalky type of finish. And they say that all you really basically need to do is just give it a quick light rub down with just a like a Scotch pad, and you can just hit it with like an oil sort of product, like linseed oil or something like that, and it'll bring that color back out and protect it a little bit. But I mean, that's 20 something years down the track, and we'll probably probably just respray it with a new paint. But that's the colour, if you can see it. Okay, see if I can get it in a good light so you get a much better idea of what it looks like. Okay, it's quite nice. I like it. I think it's beautiful. Very nice colour. Very nice finish. So that's what we did. So I've done the 2 brake backing plates. And the other thing that I have done is I cleaned up the rear differential housing and the front differential housing that I had that was spares that was sitting around. And I've done the outside edge where these bolt onto was also painted in that. So it's now just a matter of bolting them on. I didn't bolt them on basically because I haven't really got anywhere to store them at the moment. So the main diff is, the rear diff is just sitting over here with all the other Dodge parts. Because if I leave stuff outside, there's a chance someone's probably gonna nick it. Because it's just getting to be that way where we live out here. All the drongos and bogans and opportunist scumbags are starting to float around and look for trouble on the weekends out here. So that's one reason why I didn't do it. The other reason why I didn't want to do it is because I've just been out in the weather. It's storm season here. It's humid. We've already had some big storms come through and a lot of rain. So, you know, it's just easier to keep it in here, even though it's so cramped in here. It's not funny. So what I've had to do, and I'll show you this. So this paint's funny, this Dulux stuff. When it went down, I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but when it went down, it looked great. It looks fantastic. And you go out there and you look at the frame, you look parts of the frame, it looks fantastic. But it did some weird thing where it just didn't settle properly. Now I don't know if it was the hardener or the flattener or whatever it is, just didn't react properly. So it as soon as I touched it with something, it scratched off, right? Which just obviously made me pull my hair out. Hence why I have no more hair, because I pulled all my hair out. And if you notice, I got my beard. So I'm doing challenging myself to see how long I can grow a beard for. Okay. So what I decided to do when I scratched it off, it actually scratched the paint off pretty easy, and it left the primer on underneath. Now, if we look at the Jeep grille, as you can see, it's got that Dulux crap paint on the back end of it. Okay, because it's a little bit complicated. So I'll get into some of this stuff tomorrow. I didn't do it today. I was feeling wrecked again today. And I still got these weird pains that sort of travel across my chest every now and then. I just get this moment of freaking out. But what I was able to do was get into it and scrape it. So if you can see on the edges here, I'll get that light. So if you can see here, I've still got a bit of the green. All right, where it sort of transitions. You can see that. You got the green on the inside there. I still got to scrape off. And on that side, I was able to get the green off and get to the primer. So as you can see, the primer's on it. So the red primer, which from memory, I can't remember this one was done the same as the chassis, or if it was done with this one, Dulux. That's the only thing with Dulux that's good. Their primer. The rest of their stuff's junk. Don't buy their automotive paint. It's just junk. Go to someone who actually makes proper automotive paint. So as you can see, it managed to keep the primer on it. Now, hello, get me out of jail. I managed to have a crack at different ways of trying to get this off when I was first doing it. This bit here that you see in the bottom, okay, that was with the needle scaler. It was just tedious, and it's left the texture on it, so I've got to give that a bit of a quick sanding down. Whereas to do it with this way, all I had to basically do is just use my scraper, okay, and literally just go scrape, 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 scrape. So it looks like a lot of the parts that I did, so that seat frame, the windscreen, outer surround, the fender, and a couple of the combat rims, and obviously the chassis. I'm just going to have to get in there and just scrape it by hand, because it's the only way I'm going to be able to do it basically without having any money. Because because I can't pay somebody to come out and blast it at the moment and do it, because we've got to pay for other things. Like I said, the Mercedes is coming up for service next week. I'm expecting that's going to cost me over $1,000 just to get the basic service, because it's a Mercedes. But because it's under warranty, it has to get serviced by Mercedes. I can't get it serviced by anybody else. Plus, we've got some other things coming up, which I'll tell you about in a second. So it's all going to be done by hand, scrape it all off. But it should be, once I give it a bit of a quick rundown with some Scotch pad, that green Scotch pad, it should be right to lay some paint down on it, and we'll get some bits and bobs done. Really, what's holding everything up at the moment is that chassis. That's so angry when that happened, because I'd have stuff bolted onto it now, and you know, I have the diffs done, all painted up. I have a lot of stuff done, you know, but at the moment it's like, now I have to go take 10 steps back, clean that stuff off, repaint it, and then we can go from there. So it looks like this Christmas is just going to be mucking around doing stuff, but whatever. Okay. So that's where we're kind of at with that. So this is one I was going to work on today, but like I said, I wasn't feeling so crash hot this morning when I woke up. Once again, you know, just dizzy, vertigo, feeling like crap. We had to vote today as well. We had to vote for our local state members, I think. Yeah, for the state government. So we had to do that today as well. And yeah, that kind of killed me, because I walked into town to do that and then walked back up the hill. It killed me. So that's where we're at. So we're going to get that finished, get that painted, and when we can get that painted, then we can, if you sit there and don't do anything, then we can do things like, give me your bugger. Putting these on. So that's the horsehair that obviously goes along there on the grill. So the wind deflector. So it would be good, once we get that done, we can do that. So you got the two sides and you got the top. Okay, I'll turn that around so you can get a better colour. So that's the original horsehair. Now, from memory, I'm pretty sure it is TJ Zachman that makes these. So if you jump on the Jeep forums, hit him up. He makes this. He also does the asphalt impregnated body tub pads as well, which are for the Ford GPW. I'm pretty sure it's TJ that does it. So I apologise if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he does it. So he makes that for you, and he also includes the, if you can see, the little staples for it as well, and instructions. All right. So I got 2 kits of those. So it'd be good to get that. Oh, excuse me. It'd be good to get that done and start putting some stuff onto that, so I can have something done. What else have we done? We've worked on the Dodge. Took one of the cross members out. The big square boxy block one. It's on the back of the garage there. That was rotted and gutted. I have to cut the rivets out on this frame. I have to take that inner channel out that's on the front section of the frame, because what's happening is it is actually corroded, and a lot of the vehicles here in Australia are, I don't know why, maybe it's just our conditions here in Australia, but they just corrode really bad and really quick. And when I took one of the I took the front spring hanger bracket off. Behind it, you've probably seen in my Instagram. If you jump on Instagram, which is olive_drab_garage, you'll see the photographs of the chassis when I took that that part off, which is in the box over there. The front spring hanger, it was all gutted and rotted in the frame, literally holes. So it has to be cut out, Re-drill the holes, the whole lot. Same with the C channel. It's all got to be, all the rivets have to be taken out. All the cross members have to be taken out. Obviously got to brace it so it doesn't move and warp. Clean them out, repair them, and then bolt them back in. So unfortunately, this chassis and the other chassis, which is in worse condition, they're not going to be original in the regards that they're going to have hot rivets. However, who knows, 10 years time from now, when my kids are growing up, my boys are big strong fellas, maybe we might just pull everything off and we'll just hot rivet it and have a crack and do it again. So that's where we're kind of at with the parts. You know, I need to get consumables to get some more work done on things. I pulled the ring gear out of one of the Dodge Dodge bloody differential case things. My brain's not working today. Okay, so as you can see, pulled that out. But unfortunately, to get that bearing off, okay, I need to buy a 2-arm bearing puller and a bearing puller kit, so I can do that. And then obviously I've got to buy bearings. Do that, bearings and seals. So I got a lot of this sort of stuff. Like, for example, I've got the hub here, so I've got to get studs for that one. The other hub that's up behind the camera here had the inner studs snapped off inside it, so I've got to find somewhere that can drill that out and put in thread inserts, and then obviously I've got to get more studs. So that's kind of like where we're at now. We've got a lot of things that need just repairs and need replacing, like the Dodge gears. You can see. And you see there, you probably can't see that. Let me find here. They're that one there. Like, have a look at that, the one at the top there. Okay, so the whole gearbox gears are there, and I'd love to put them back in, but every face is like that on the thing. The shaft is buggered. Every one of those gears is buggered. So I was thinking of maybe trying to find somewhere that could make those gears. It's probably going to cost me an absolute bomb of money. And then I've got to think about, well, do I do that or do I just get new gears from America and probably end up paying the same price, but then at least I know that they're proper made gears. So yeah, that's where we're at with things. Now, the last little piece of information that I'm going to tell everybody is we have another grease monkey on the way. The little grease monkey is currently at the factory being made by the Mummy factory, and this little grease monkey will be due in mid-April, probably around about the same time as Anzac Day. And no, we won't be calling the baby Anzac, even though there is a kid at my kid's school that has the name Anzac. It's weird, but anyway. So yeah, so baby number 4 is on the way. Yes, we had a really good, hard, long sort of talk about it. It kind of, this little baby sort of just came out of nowhere. And you know, yes, we're adults. We know how babies are made. we just were, I don't know, maybe we just got the days wrong, or did something. We did something wrong that we weren't supposed to have done. And wifey found out that she was pregnant, and we had about a 5-second talk about whether we're going to keep the baby, and that was pretty much done and dusted. So yes, we're glad we got a 7-seat car, which is good. It just means less space for the swap meet next year to fit soon. So I don't know, maybe we'll have a Jeep running by then and we can bring stuff back in the Jeep. So there you go. So we're going to have four grease monkeys. I guess that means Daddy's going to have to give the Dodge to one of the boys, or find another Jeep. This time, if we buy another one, I mean, I'd love to get a CCKW as well. I was talking to Jad Dennis about that and having a bit of a giggle about it, and he said, mate, if you're going to get one, just get one that's already built, so you don't have to worry about doing it. Same as the Jeep. If you have to get another Jeep for for this little one. Yeah, we'll get one that's already built, but that probably won't happen for a while, because I've got to end up going to Sydney as well sometime at the start of the year. Clear out my mum's house, obviously, get that sorted, and get that sold. So that's where we're at. Sorry guys, it's 30 minutes worth of me talking shit like usual. With not much really getting done, but I just wanted to give you an update. I know a lot of my subscribers probably sit there and think, Jesus, some of these videos are a bit random. They come out randomly, and yeah, they do. Guys, it really just comes down to money at the moment. Life is just knocking me for six. You know, it seems to be we're just constantly paying bills and having drama and issues that require money to be spent. So hopefully things will start to slow down a little bit, and we can start getting some stuff painted, some stuff done, completed, and I really want to get that chassis done. So as soon as I can get my button of gear and start getting that cleaned up and scratched up, and go from there. And I'm pretty aware with this paint, when I was talking to the guys, they were saying that I can paint this over that existing paint, so long as I get as much of it off as possible, and send it back, because what will happen is you paint this on top, it'll lift off the primer, that'll get moisture underneath it, it'll bubble, it'll flake off, and then you've got issues. So yeah, we'll get into it, and like I said, as soon as that chassis gets done, we can start putting bits on it, which is great. So anyway guys, thanks very much for sticking with me. Sorry there's not much content in this video today, but like I said, I just wanted to give you guys all a heads up as to what's been going on. Like usual, it's drama. My life is full of drama. You could probably write a TV show with what goes on in my life and has gone into my life. You know, it's exhausting, but that's my life. So anyway guys, what else I've got to tell you? That's pretty much about it. We're just waiting to get stuff painted, and we'll start bolting things back together. So anyway, like, share, subscribe, all that junk. I know everybody else says the same thing, but I think basically they say the same thing because it keeps them active in the algorithm, puts the videos into your recommended list, it gets everybody out there. The more people that I have subscribing to me, and the more people that I have watching me, I can be like everybody else and start getting monetized by YouTube. And I know it sounds a little bit of an evil thing to say, but it'd be nice to have a little bit of extra money coming in. I don't care if it's $10. I don't care if it's $100. I don't care if it's $1,000. $10 will get me a couple of bolts. I can put some stuff together. I can get bolts for the cross member to bolt the cross member onto the chassis. You know what I mean? So come on guys, like, share, subscribe, get the videos out there. I hope you enjoy them. Give me feedback. Tell me if I'm doing something wrong. You can give me some tips. If you know some places I can go around Gold Coast and Brisbane and Queensland, Australia, that get stuff done. Like getting this hub fixed up, getting new thread inserts put in. That would be fantastic, guys. So anyway, have a great weekend. Be good. Behave. Don't end up with 6 o'clock news. And I'll catch up with you in the next video. All right. Thank you, guys. Ciao.